welcome to this episode of Puck Drop. And on today's Puck Drop episode, we are going to talk about the playoff brackets and round robin review, and then we are going to get into our predictions for the next couple of rounds. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure how accurate they are going to be, considering how inaccurate we were during our original predictions. Not only did we do the brackets wrong, we also got almost all of them right, Jacob and Jordan?
Wow, yeah. 10 out of 10 would do again.
Exactly, yeah. We're going to give it another try, but first, we got to review the past round that has been completed with some round-robin games to determine the higher seeds, as well as, of course, the series to qualify for the playoffs. So, Jacob, let's do it. All right.
Okay.
In terms of round-robin in the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia swept it. They were 3-0. Tampa did pretty astounding. I'd give it to them. They went 2-1-0, still definitely competing, still definitely a scary team. Capitals did surprisingly pretty bad. They just went all ones throughout, an overtime loss as well as a loss and a win. Boston went 0-3-0. That, in my opinion, was a huge shocker. I thought Boston was going to be much better than that. I thought they were at least going to be 1-1-1, but couldn't even pick up a single win or even overtime loss. In terms of the Western Conference, Vegas was dominant as expected, 3-0-0. Not as good as I expected, but still I predicted them to be one of the better teams. Colorado, definitely, in my opinion, a surprise, 2-0-1. Dallas, kind of where I thought they would be, maybe a game under 500, 1-2-0. And then St. Louis, the reigning Stanley Cup champions, who had a pretty good season this season, coming into the playoffs, with the cup out of their hands from last year, couldn't pick up a single win. They made it to overtime for one game, but still couldn't get anywhere. So, guys, just very quickly for each of you, which couple of teams really shocked you? And, of course, I'm assuming it's Vegas who, in terms, did really well.
A couple of teams that shocked me. I was shocked about Philly, and I was shocked about Boston. I kind of predicted the Capitals, though. That was on me. That's on me.
So we do have it as Jacob Hart. Sorry, hold on one sec. I just want to explain something, but then you can talk. In terms of this, you're probably wondering what this means because the teams are still in anyway, for those of you not as educated hockey fans. I will tell you that Philadelphia and Vegas, because of their undefeated records, came first in the East and in the West in terms of the round robins, will be the best seeds in the playoffs, meaning they will have the easiest possible run. Anyway, Jacob, take over.
Philly, I'm not actually surprised they had the first seed. I definitely saw it I actually predicted them to be last in the East.
We all did.
I definitely didn't see it. I definitely am not surprised. I knew how good that Philly team was going into the break, and I just didn't really expect them to carry it over as well as they did, but they carried it over well. And Vegas, I'm surprised they got first in the West, but they played really well. That 4-goal period in the third period against Dallas. And St. Louis, shocked that they didn't even win a game.
Yeah, I thought they'd be so much better. I mean, I understand their seed was not half as good as Vegas or, Philly or any of those teams. But come on. They won the Stanley Cup last year. They don't have that much different team.
Though
I think you put too much store by Stanley Cups. You predicted the Caps and Blues in the finals. I think you put too much store by former Stanley Cup winners, right?
I'm not gonna tell you if I change my prediction or not, but I'm gonna tell you I still predict the two of those teams to still do really well because I think they've woken up. I think this is a wake-up call in terms of talent. Those are the two best teams in this playoffs, and of course, excluding the Lightning, but the Lightning we all know are gonna flunk out.
And with St. Louis, it's not like they really played bad. Their first in one of their. When they played Colorado, they lost because of a goal that literally happened, that literally went in with less than 0.1 seconds left on the clock. Close in their first game. Their second game, they really didn't play well against Vegas, but they still scored 4 goals on 18 shots, which is pretty good.
Yeah. And one other thing I want to say about
obviously they had that shootout loss against Dallas, which was one game. So
and right before we move on to our reactions to the play-in round to get us ready for round one, I'd just like to say in terms of the Capitals, let's put it this way. Obviously Philly surprised us all, but they weren't terrible if you think about it. 3 points in 3 games, and also, I think they're going to do better than Tampa because this is not the playoffs yet. So, I think they, you know what I mean? I just think that they have more to come. I'm not terribly saddened by the Capitals in terms of my predictions, but I am terribly saddened by the fact that the team I predicted in my last predictions, and I'm not going to tell you if I predicted them this predictions, went 0-2-1, didn't pick up a single win, and I predicted them to make it to the Stanley Cup in my previous predictions. Anyway, moving on. Here we go. All right. In terms of the qualifying round, we're going to start from the East and then move to the West. The 5th seed Pittsburgh Penguins picked up a game against Montreal, who was actually the 12th seed, but Montreal was able to prevail with 3 games in the books. That was a 4-game series in favor of Montreal. Guys, I predicted it. Thank you. I already know you guys are going to say congratulations. All right. Rangers couldn't pick up a win against Carolina. Not that surprised, of course, because, well, the Rangers don't even know what playoff hockey is. Too young of a team. We're not going to mention why I think that can change very soon in the future. Maybe we'll mention it a little bit, but we don't talk about that on this channel. Islanders beat Florida 3-1. Not too much of a shocker. They were the better seed. They're a very good team in terms of talent, but we'll see how they do in the next round. Toronto surprisingly lost to Columbus. They put up somewhat of a fight.
Surprisingly. That's debatable.
I predicted Toronto to go a long way. They have talent, and they have more talent.
Okay, well, talent doesn't get you.
Talent hasn't gotten them anywhere in 50 years.
Talent can get you far, but they can't get you. But a good work ethic, especially in the NHL, can get you even farther. Which is how Columbus won the series, and how they swept Tampa last year. All right, so.
All right, let's move to the West.
In terms of the West, I'm really surprised by Edmonton. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry, Jack Michaels, but you couldn't pull this one out. Chicago would win 3-1. Big upset. Probably, I'm not sure if it's not as big of an upset as Montreal beating Pittsburgh, but still a huge upset. Arizona beating Nashville. I was kind of shocked by that. I don't know why. I just saw Nashville prevailing, but they didn't. Arizona was clearly the better team. Vancouver beat Minnesota 3-1, and Calgary beat Winnipeg in a little Canadian clash.
2 things.
All right.
Arizona, Nashville. Arizona was not the dominant team in that series. Nashville thoroughly outplayed the Coyotes in every single game.
I disagree with you, Jacob. I think it's all about the results.
Who won the series, Jacob? Arizona.
Yeah.
Darcy Kemper.
It's not about what happens in the game, it's what the result of the game leads to.
Darcy Kemper made 40+ saves every single game. He carried the Coyotes. The Predators had so many good chances. They just kept getting robbed. And in the Winnipeg-Calgary series, losing both Laine and Scheifele in the first half of the first game, that hurts. I knew, even though they ended up tying the series in game 2. As soon as I saw Scheifele and Laine were both injured, I knew the series was over.
I got to be honest with you. I think that Winnipeg would have had the series if Laine was still there, and Scheifele as well. But in terms of Nashville, Arizona, I can agree with you. Nashville did really well for a losing team, but in the end, it's about who wins.
I agree. It's about who wins. But what I'm just saying is that even though Arizona won, I think they were outplayed.
Okay,
let's move on.
Yeah, we're going to move on with this. Jacob, take the mic. Go ahead. What's going to happen next for our second half of this, group?
Here's Jordan's brackets.
So I'm not going to talk about my entire bracket like I did last time. I'm just going to highlight a couple of teams. First of all.
You're going to start in the West or East?
I'm going to start in the East. Thank you.
Okie dokie.
Because I'm most excited about the East.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, the Islanders. I've been saying it since the beginning. Do not sleep on the Islanders. They're a young team. They're a team that if you weren't a Devils fan that you'd want to root for. And they don't have too much playoff experience, but they can get hot. I've been saying it. Don't sleep on the Islanders. Now the Lightning
sweeping the Capitals.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
I do. Okay.
Jordan, hold on, Jordan. You predict Philadelphia to beat the 3-0 in the round robin Philadelphia Flyers with a ton of talent. I don't.
All right. I'll get to it. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'll get to it. Next, I want to talk. I will talk about the Capitals and the Flyers in a bit, but let me talk about the Lightning. The Lightning, a a lot depends on injuries, because if Victor Hedman can come back, I can see them winning the finals. If he doesn't, I don't know. They're a very unstable team right now, but they could capitalize on what I like to call the Taylor Hall effect.
Okay.
Their two-star players went down, so maybe the rest of the team can step up. I still think the Lightning are a strong candidate. Let's talk about the Flyers.
I have to
The
heavily
Flyers.
agree with you, Jacob.
I have heavily underestimated the Flyers. I have overlooked them. But if you think about it, they have some star players. Their talent is pretty good, but their key is depth. They have very good depth. They can get scoring chances off their fourth line. I think that will be key in their series in round one. But yeah, their depth is key. But I still think that if the Isles can get hot, the Isles will win.
Jordan, you want them to beat the Washington Capitals. I mean,
All right. Since Ryan wants me to talk about the Capitals so much, here we go. Ryan, I think you put too much store by Stanley Cups and regular seasons.
And I think you're overrating the Islanders just because you think that they had a good regular season. Come on.
No, I'm not overrating the Islanders because they had a good regular season. Let me talk about why I think they'll sweep the Capitals. In the play-in round, the Capitals were clearly complacent, like the Boston Bruins. They were complacent. They've had complacency problems in the past. I've said it before, but they will resurface. Last time I said that Alex Ovechkin might not be as dominant as he once was. I was right.
And
But-
let me remind you, I was right about Montreal upsetting in the first round. So don't underestimate my predictions either.
Yes, you were. You were right about that. But I still think that the Capitals will get extremely complacent, and the the boxes are in the way. But yeah, I still think that the Islanders are a far better candidate because, again, they can get hot, and they have against Florida, who's not a bad team. And let's move on to the West now.
I'm just gonna ask one thing. You have the Capitals, even though they have the Bruins and Capitals had their complacency problems in the round robin. You have the Capitals getting swept, but the Bruins beating the Hurricanes, who were one of the best teams in the qualifying round and round robin.
Jordan, I really don't like your bracket anymore. I used to like your bracket, but now it seems like it's all out of control.
Let's move on to the West.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Vegas, I think is pretty good. I have Calgary. I have Calgary. I have Calgary beating Dallas because I just think Calgary. I kind of want to root for Calgary.
I can agree with you that Dallas is an overrated team. Continue.
Yeah. I have the Blues beating the Canucks, and this was tough for me. It was really tough because the Blues went down hard in the round robin, but I still have them beating the Canucks because you know what? It was tough. I just went on my gut. That's my gut pick.
Okay.
I have the Avs beating the Coyotes because the Avs. They have the talent. They have Nathan McKinnon. They are the Avs. They're going. And I think they're going to go all the way to the finals now. Now that they've proved me right before, I think they're going to go to the finals. That's a gut pick in that game with Vegas, but I still think so.
Jordan.
Now, I have the Lightning winning because if the Lightning can capitalize on the Taylor Hall effect, if Victor Hedman can make a return, then I think the Lightning are in prime position to win the cup.
All right, so let me say a couple things, Jordan. First of all, I can agree that the Lightning are definitely cup contending. I will put it that way. I think they are one of the better teams in the playoffs, and that they are long overdue with all the money, all the smarts put into their team to win a cup. But the New York Islanders beating the Washington Capitals. The New York Islanders beating.
You put way too much store in former glory, Ryan.
The Flyers have no glory. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? The Islanders have plenty of young talent. They can get hot at the right time.
You know what, Jordan? You're right. Fine. Let's say they beat the Capitals, which I still think is out of control. You really think they can beat the Philadelphia Flyers? I mean, come on.
That was,
Jordan,
again, another tough series. But if the Islanders beat the Capitals, there's no stopping them, I think.
Jordan, I get the Islanders can get hot at the right time, but they can also flop at the right time. You think last year?
They're already hot. They're
last
already
year-
hot. They got hot against the Panthers,
Yeah, but you
and
think-
they're going to keep that momentum going.
Hold the roof.
I agree. We're holding the roof.
You think back to last year? Yeah, they swept the Penguins in the first round. Then what happened? They got swept by the Hurricanes. The Islanders are very inconsistent. They have a 17-game point streak where they go 15-0-2 or 16-0-1, but then they lose a bunch of games in a row.
All right, let me also put
Exactly. They're a streaky team. I've said it before. They're an unstable team. I'll give you that. But they beat the Panthers, and I'm an Islanders believer. Last year was a fluke for them. They're hot right now. I think that if they can beat the Capitals, again, no stopping them. But if they lose to the Capitals, well, you're right then.
I need to cut in. Hold on, Jacob. I'm going to back you up so severely here. You're talking about how hot the Islanders can be as a young squad. Well, let's talk about how hot Philly was in the round robin. They're just as hot as the Islanders were, but I'd say even more hot, and they're a better team. So how on this planet do you think they're going to just barely prevail past Montreal? Prevail while losing only one game. 5 games.
Sorry, how many games do I have? Philly beating the Islanders beating Philly.
You think they're going to lose a game to the Canadians? And
yes,
then
I do think so because Carey Price proved that he still has gas in the tank.
That's criminal, Jordan. That's criminal.
I have the Islanders losing a game to Montreal because Carey Price proved that he still can be dominant, and I think that Carey Price and Shea Weber can steal a game from the Flyers. I don't think they're gonna win.
We need to move on to Ryan's bracket. We need
to
move on to Ryan's bracket.
Do you think
my bracket is very controversial?
Ryan,
do you think Jordan's bracket is realistic? Please put it down in the comments below because I already know that nobody's going to put it in the comments. But if there is, I'm pretty sure everyone will be backing me up.
I didn't know my bracket was going to be so controversial.
Ryan.
It is. All right, my bracket now.
You're going to start in the East or West?
We'll see. All right, so
I need to know where to put our boxes.
I'm going to flip a quarter. If it's tails, it'll be West. If it's heads, it'll be East. It is heads. We're starting in the East. All right. So in the Eastern Conference, I predicted, and I don't know why I predicted this, but I just have a gut feeling. Hold on. No. Just kidding. I'm looking at the wrong thing. This makes plenty of sense. I do think that Philadelphia will beat Montreal. I just have a gut feeling Montreal will make it to 7 games, but I think Philadelphia is the better team. Come on, though. Boston is a great team. I think that Philadelphia is a very streaky team. They're just barely going to prevail past Montreal. They're going to struggle to beat Boston. Boston came off of a good series, an easy win versus Carolina. I can't see Carolina being very effective this playoffs.
How many wins did the Hurricanes have in a much more intense and round or qualifying round series? 3.
4.
I can agree with you again, but everybody has that ridiculous prediction 2 or even 3 in this, and I just don't see Carolina going anywhere. I'm sorry, I could be wrong. I was terribly wrong in the last thing, but I don't know. My gut tells me Carolina's not going to do good, and Boston's going to surprise us. I think that Philadelphia is the team to watch this playoffs, and I just think they're going to struggle against Boston. I think that although they are definitely better than Montreal, Carey Price has proved to us, which I have predicted, is a very, very good keeper, and he's going to push this not to 5, 6, but 7 games. In terms of Tampa, I think Tampa's a great team. I think that the talent's there. I think it's time that they make a run. Of course, Washington will stop them because, this series has happened multiple times and Washington has won. In terms of Washington and the Islanders, Washington's a better team. The Islanders are
mean Bruins.
I just can't see the Islanders putting a fight against the Capitals. And then, that's my East look for you. In terms of the West, Vegas, fantastic team. No doubt about it, I predict them. They had a fantastic round robin, as we saw, and there's no reason why they can't win this. Colorado, Arizona, that was a good series. Unfortunately, I think that Carolina will win it at 5. I think it'll be fun to watch. I don't know why. I just think that Arizona is a very young team, just a very exciting team to watch. Dallas and Calgary, I don't know why I'm predicting that to be an upset. I just think Dallas is just an overrated team. Don't ask me why. I just feel it. Jordan felt the same thing.
I agree.
All three of us can agree that Dallas is overrated and had a better playoffs than anyone else would predict. In terms of St. Louis and Vancouver, come on, guys. It's St. Louis. They struggled in the early rounds. They're going to come back. They're going to do beast mode. So it's going to be St. Louis versus Carolina, and Vegas versus Calgary, Philadelphia versus Boston, and the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Washington Capitals. If any object, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I'm just looking at further down your bracket. I still think you put far too much store in former glory. The Washington Capitals were Stanley Cup champions in 2018. It's not 2018 anymore, Ryan.
Let's put it this way.
It is 2020.
All right.
We're going to get complacent.
Hold the roof. Let's talk Capitals then. What about how good's Ovechkin? A really good player, right?
Ovechkin's a superstar.
He's a superstar.
Is TJ Oshie not one of the? All right, listen. Before I move on, is TJ Oshie not one of the most underrated players in the NHL?
I don't know.
He's
I always thought of TJ Oshie as a superstar.
My predictions are my predictions.
Oshie, you always thought Oshie was a superstar. Oshie's a
I watched him in the Olympics, so I've always liked TJ Oshie.
He's a solid top 6 winger, but he's not even close to a superstar.
I think
I don't know. I'm biased for TJ Oshie.
And I think he should be an all-star player. If Brian Boyle can make the all-star,
He did make the all-star game. Oshie made the all-star game this year.
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying he's definitely an all-star. Moving on. That's only proving my point. Conference finals time, ladies and gentlemen. Vegas is going to take on St. Louis. Vegas is a fantastic team. They're better than St. Louis.
I haven't finished my spiel about
All
you
right,
yet.
well, I don't care about your spiel, Jordan. St. Louis.
We need to move on to my bracket.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Every man has the right to finish his or her bracket. St. Louis will beat Vegas, and the Washington Capitals will beat Boston. And I don't know how. I don't know why. But I think that we are going to have 2018 versus 2019 in 2020 once again. And I'm sorry, St. Louis, but Washington is the better team. Congratulations, Alex Ovechkin. You will win playoff MVP.
Nope.
Yeah, all I have to say.
Okay, well, also, Ryan, the reason I said we need to run to my bracket is because I didn't want you to let Jordan finish his spiel.
I want to finish my spiel. He puts far too much store in former glory.
Oh, no. His spiel is so ridiculous, I would never let him finish it anyway. Moving on.
Here is my bracket. I'm going to start out.
We had the same finals.
You guys both started out in the East, so I'm going to start out in the West.
Wow,
So
you're so cool.
I have Vegas beating Chicago in 6 games. Chicago, they're good, but I don't think they're going to get past Vegas. I have Colorado beating Arizona in 5. Actually, I have 3. Me and Ryan both have the same for Vegas, Chicago, and Colorado, Arizona. Arizona, again, out of all the teams that won the series, they probably played the worst. And Colorado is just such a good team. So I think Darcy Campbell will carry them to 1 game, but I can't see them.
Colorado winning the Stanley Cup.
So
definitely think Vegas is better. Definitely think St. Louis is better. I can say a lot of teams that are better. Anyway, continue.
I have Calgary being Dallas in 6. Dallas, they're a good team, but they cannot score goals. It's been a problem for years now. The Dallas Stars have amazing defense, great goaltending, but they just cannot put the puck in the back of the net. And, that's pretty important in hockey. And then I have St. Louis waking up and beating Vancouver in 5 games. Second round, Vegas, Calgary, Colorado, St. Louis. I have Colorado beating the St. Louis Blues. I'll say it goes to 7 games, but Colorado is going to beat the St. Louis Blues in a late game-winning goal from JT Compher in Game 7. And then I have Vegas beating Calgary, and I'll say 5 or 6 games. And then I have Colorado beating Vegas in the conference finals and going to the conference finals. And then in the East, Philly, I have I have Philly beating Montreal pretty easily. Tampa beating Columbus in 6 games, but I will not be surprised if Columbus wins. And then I have Washington and Islanders going to 7, but the Capitals prevailing. And then I have the Hurricanes beating the Bruins in 6 games. I really like the Hurricanes, and I think if the Bruins continue to play how they did in the round robin, they're not getting far. Second round, I have the Philadelphia Flyers beating the Carolina Hurricanes, and Tampa beating Washington. Washington is a good team, but when Tampa is ready to go, they're ready to go, and especially coming off a series against the hardworking Blue Jackets, I think they would have learned their lesson against Washington.
I disagree, but I respect it.
Then I have the Philadelphia Flyers upsetting and beating the Tampa Bay Lightning in Conference 5. Wait, no, I have Tampa. Never mind.
It's vice versa, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's not much of an upset. It's not much of an upset. We all know Tampa Bay is better than Philadelphia.
So yeah, I have Tampa beating Colorado, winning but I think Colorado winning the Stanley Cup. It's gonna be close though. I'll say 6 or 7 games. And
I have to be honest with you, Jacob. Oh, keep going. Sorry, my fault. Keep going.
Gary Bettman will present the Stanley Cup with his mask on to Gabe Landeskog, and Nathan McKinnon will go get the Conn Smythe Trophy, and the Avalanche will win the Stanley Cup, and all the Lightning.
I respect that.
I have to be honest with you, Jacob. I disagree with you a lot more than I disagree with Jordan.
Really?
However, can I speak? I do think that your playoffs would be much more fun. Think about it. The Colorado Avalanche pulling a cup out of Tampa Bay Lightning. You don't see that every day. You don't see the Tampa Bay Lightning in the finals.
Yeah, they haven't been to the finals since 2015 when they lost in 6 games.
And at least we're sane enough to know that Philadelphia won't beat Tampa Bay. Jordan.
Well, I think it's a high crime that you guys don't have the Islanders beating the Capitals. I want to stake my reputation on the Islanders beating the Capitals. And you can play that back later.
The Capitals have complacency issues, and Alex Ovechkin, is not as good as he was, but
yada yada yada.
The Capitals.
Okay, maybe I'm not willing to stake my reputation on this, but I am I am vehemently supporting the Islanders. I'm an Islanders fan this playoffs.
When the Islanders lose in the first round to the Capitals, me and Ryan are going to laugh in your face. Right, Ryan?
When the Islanders absolutely destroy the Capitals, I'm going to laugh at your face.
All right, let's all make a truce deal. If me and Jacob are right, you owe us a quarter. If it's vice versa, we both owe you a quarter.
That's not fair.
That's a stupid bet.
No.
It's a 25-cent bet. Why not?
All right, that's just stupid. But I am vehemently supporting the Islanders. The Islanders are the team to watch besides Philly. Philly is really the team to watch.
Okay, well, that was all of our brackets. And Ryan, you want to wrap this up?
I will wrap it up. All 3. Let's just put it this way. Let me reword that. We all know, judging our history of bracket predictions, there's a very high chance all 3 of us could be completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Comment on if you disagree with any of us or all of us, because likely nobody will comment, but at least we hope, Follow us on Instagram, puck_drop.LHS on source. This by puck_drop.LHS on source. Let's change it up today. Jordan, what's our Twitter?
LHS Puck Drop.
Yay! All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching us, idiots.